Hey guys, how y'all doing today? I'm going to tell you why dirty bulking is not the way to go when it comes to gaining weight and more importantly muscle. So as someone who's dirty bulked you know, before I've had the GNC weight gainer shakes or the homemade ones where I put, scoops of like ice cream inside them. That's how I dirty bulked, but it just didn't work for me. And it wasn't nearly as effective as just bulking the clean way. But I'm not just going to tell you like dirty bulking sucks and it's not optimal, just not give you any reason why or how to clean bulk. I'm going to tell you how to clean bulk properly and how much it helped me. So like I said before, I tried dirty bulking, but before even with that, I wasn't gaining much muscle with it. And most importantly, I just felt horrible all the time. And I know, putting ice cream and sugar-filled homemade or store-bought mass gainer shakes made me feel bad. Like, big surprise. But even when I didn't have those, I still didn't feel good ever or even perform well in sports or in the gym. My homemade weight gainer shakes were around, 2,000 calories. I put Greek yogurt, oats, ice cream, milk, peanut butter, honey, protein powder, and a bunch of other random stuff, which is healthier than just buying straight up store-bought mass gainer shakes. So honestly, that's some compromisable advice, is if you're going to dirty bulk, at least make little changes like that. Don't buy the store-bought, weight gainer mass shake powders and, they're just filled with sugar and random crap that it's pretty much empty calories, and instead, make the homemade ones. I mean, that's a step up. Even if you're putting ice cream in it, it's still better than, the store-bought ones. But anyways, that's why I don't recommend dirty bulking. I just felt sick and terrible all the time and didn't perform well in sports or in the gym. And I wasn't even gaining any really real muscle. And it just, it wasn't worth it. The cons outweighed the pros to me. Okay. Then how do I clean bulk, or why is clean bulking better? Well, like I said before, I just felt horrible, and dirty bulking, I feel like I didn't gain any real muscle with it, and it was just all empty calories, and honestly, I eat less clean bulking than I did dirty bulking, and I still feel like I've gained more weight and more muscle, just because it's real calories that I'm eating. And, I could be wrong about this, but that's just how I feel. That I've gone away with eating less while clean bulking because the calories aren't empty. And it's like real food, in my opinion. But, the real question, okay, then you might be asking is, so how do I clean bulk while still eating, 3,000, 4,000 calories a day? Well, the main foods I'd recommend that I've eaten to help me bulk, I'm not bulking anymore. I've reached, I'd say a pretty good weight for me. I'm 5'8", 155. That's almost borderline, if you put in a BMI calculator, borderline overweight. So, and I don't look like it, but I still, because it's just a lot of muscle that I have, that's why the 155 looks good, but also if you put in a BMI that doesn't know it's muscle, it looks like I'm overweight, or borderline. But back to the point, food time calories that are clean or, close enough to clean. If you couldn't tell by now, I'm a no seed oil, purist type of guy. So I know that automatically eliminates 95% of foods, but I'm not even going to tell you just don't eat no seed oils, but because I know that's hard to do, Some of you, you might not have the time to cook or don't have the money for that. Honestly, eating out is more expensive now than just eating clean, but that's not talking about that right now. Even if it has some seed oils in it or not great ingredients, it'll still be better than the alternatives of eating out. That's my whole point. Is I'm not even telling you eat super clean, don't eat seed oils. Just don't eat out. Don't have a bunch of candy or chips or ice cream or store-bought weight mass gainer shakes. Just try your best to, keep it in-house, the food. But back to the point, there's better alternatives out there than eating out. For example, for me, as someone that doesn't eat no seed oils, I eat sourdough bread, high in carbs, good calories. But, a seed oil version of that that's still healthier than, eating like a burger bun is Dave's Killer Bread. I know that's a popular one because it has protein in it too. There's one sitting in my fridge that has seed oils in it, but that's way better than just, the regular plain bun or white bread with sugar sitting there too. So, I'm not saying those seed oils will help you gain weight, like just doing that, but that staying away from crazy amounts of sugar and ultra processed foods will help you gain real weight and not just empty calories sitting in you, taking up unnecessary space and making you feel sick and bloated all the time. Some clean basic foods are oats, peanut butter, almond butter, sourdough, like I mentioned, granola, rice, and yeah, those foods are high in calories, are going to be high in carbs. That's how it works. High in calories, high in carbs, pretty much. But if you couldn't tell, but honestly, the little things too matter, like chia seeds or, putting honey or olive oil or ketchup on food or just drinking juice. Little things can add up too. So let's say, you have yogurt, but instead you throw in some chia seeds and honey in a Greek yogurt bowl. That's an extra like 200, 300 calories just right there. On top of your meal you already have. Maybe you put granola in the yogurt too. And you have a cup of juice with that. Another extra 100 calories right there. I'm just saying that can help the little things, especially when you're trying to eat more clean. So you can't just have a random bag of chips whenever you want. But you can have, throw in honey, chia seeds, stuff like that. And also forgot to mention, this is something coming from me who I can barely cook. So my meal examples I'm going to give you should be easy enough for you because I barely cook. So like I mentioned before, I'm giving you meal examples now just to try to give you some ideas because I don't want to just be like, hey, eat cleaner. Here's, that's my advice. No extra stuff to it. But Greek yogurt bowl or overnight oats, yogurt, I believe it tastes better when you do overnight oats, but sometimes I'm lazy and I just, do it make it in the morning. But even when you do make it in the morning and you don't do overnight, you can still throw in oats with, the yogurt, even if it's not sitting there overnight. It won't taste as good, but it still works. But yogurt, oats, a banana, honey, chia seeds, all that together, nice. I use it as a quick pre-workout meal, and it's high in protein. Mine are usually around like 700 calories. If you add around a cup or two of oats, because a lot of the calories are coming from the oats, or you throw in granola. Another easy meal I make when I'm super lazy is sourdough, peanut butter, or almond butter. The almond butter tastes better, in my opinion, and honey. And, my parents think I'm weird whenever I eat this, but I like it a lot, and it's really easy. It's 2 slices of bread, sourdough for me. That's around 200, 300 calories, plus, let's just say, 1 tablespoon of almond butter on each piece of sourdough, another 200 calories, then honey on both, 100 calories there too. And I add strawberries just for taste, and that's an easy 500-calorie, 5-minute meal snack that I'd say, or call it. And another example of food that isn't if you showed it to someone that's, carnivore diet or whatever, they'd say, oh no, it's not good for you, like Kodiak cakes. But I look at it, and I don't think it's that bad, and obviously, like I said before, better than alternatives. Kodiak cakes are high in protein and high in calories, which is good, but also the ingredients aren't that bad in it, and honestly, there's barely that many bad ingredients. They're not super high quality, you could say, but they're also not bad, you could say at the same time, They don't have seed oils, and I don't eat it usually, just because I'm trying to eat, I'm trying to eat as clean as possible, but I'll have it every here and there if I'm struggling to hit calories or protein for the day. The reality is it's hard to bulk while eating super clean, obviously, but it's not impossible. And, I'd recommend doing it because I think it helped me gain a lot more weight and muscle and helps me feel better too, eating clean while bulking at the same time, I still get bloated even when I eat clean, but because I overeat. And it goes away after 5 minutes and I feel fine, and I'm not sitting on the toilet for like 30 minutes after drinking a mass gainer shake because, trying to gain weight and get an easy 2,000 calories in 5 minutes, Those tasted horrible too, by the way. It's just it felt like torture. But, overall point is just that I'm not telling you to eat, carnivore diet. I'm just saying Don't eat out. Don't, eat chips and candy. Instead, just, try to make those quick, easy meals at home. And, try your best to just eat clean or somewhat clean foods. And I promise you that, for me at least, in my case, in my own experience, that it will help you gain real weight and muscle better than dirty bulking. And honestly, and like I said before, I feel like I got away with eating less calories than when I was dirty bulking, and I still gained as much or even more weight because that food was real and was real calories, But let me know what you guys think and your own personal opinions on it. I'm not saying this is, 100% science or whatever, but just my own personal opinion and experience and what helped me. I'm trying to help you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.